Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Dan.
I'm Andrew.
And this is the Board Game Rundown. Today we are doing a preview of They Live, the card game, Enslave the City.
Get
if
that
you are
off
me.
of your face.
or Save the City. So this is the newest They Live game from Iconic Studio. Are
I'm
you
Dan.
doing it now?
This is Dan.
This is the newest game from Iconic Studio, especially the in the They Live IP. They have another one that they've already put out, but this is a card game, so it's a little faster, easier setup, and tear down. In this game, basically, it is a hidden. Somebody's one or more players could be an imposter, and so they are trying to take over the city while everybody else is trying to figure out who the imposters are and kill them. So during the game, there's going to be a lineup that's going to come out. It's going to be, I believe it's like 2 cards per player. And then starting with the lowest health player, which is smart, you're going to pick 2 cards out of that lineup. It could be weapons. It could be
Ammo.
It could be ammo. It could be areas. And there can be enemies in there. And there's also like med kits, toolkits, things like that, right? And if the imposters are trying to secure 4 sections of the city. And and they're going to do that by drafting sections, right? So like here's Main Street. I got 2 Main Street cards. I have now secured that. If I'm not revealed as an imposter, I get to draw an ally card. You can only have 1 ally card. So if you draw one and you already have one, you're going to pick which one you want to keep. And they're going to give you one of 2 abilities depending on where you are in your health. If you are down in the critical range, you're going to get the critical ability, which is usually a little bit better. If you're still in the green range, you're going to get the regular one, and that's still pretty good. I never got an ally card, so I wouldn't know.
Bob and I got 6 of them.
Yeah, something like that. A lot.
In the game, also, there's 4 characters that are directly from the movie: Nada, Frank, Holly, and Gilbert. And then there's 4 other characters that are...
Are they like generic?
Yeah,
or
they're
something?
just kind of made up. Like Dixon looks like an undercover cop. Billy's like a punk rocker. Reddy looks like a scientist. And then Jack just looks like a military lady.
Got it. I just assumed they were just characters that you see in the movie for a second when he's like seeing all the aliens, but I haven't actually seen the movie all the way through.
I don't think you see Billy anywhere. Okay. The other ones you maybe. Not to say that there's not punk rockers in L.A. in the mid '80s, but yeah, there's definitely characters from the movie, things that are lots of references to the movie. You don't need to see the movie, but it's a little extra flavor if you have, and even better if you like the movie. But yeah, so anyways, you're basically just going to go until one side or the other wins. If you're playing with multiple imposters, there is a phase where they get to like everybody closes their eyes. 2 imposters open their eyes and like acknowledge each other. But then other than that, you've got the glasses here. Like that's your hidden player card.
Show them the difference between the 2.
And you want to put those on there? Yeah. Is that 2 different ones?
It's very hard to see the difference
2 different ones?
between the 2.
And therein lies the problem.
That could actually be a good thing.
I call that a bonus because they look similar. So if somebody accidentally sees like part of your card,
They don't know right away.
They don't know right away.
Yeah. You can tell the imposter.
But yeah, so there's also a way where you can vote. Everybody can like decide to force reveal, and it's like, no, I think it's Bob. Like we need to all vote Bob. And if we're wrong, there's a huge penalty to that. Like everybody loses like half their health, all kinds of stuff. If they're right, hey, now we know who it is, and then you can start attacking them because there's going to be enemies that are going to come up, and you have to attack the enemies or whoever picks up that card is going to take that damage, and their damage gets reduced the more damage they take, but they do hit you back when you attack them. All kinds of good stuff in there.
I also assume, because we decided against it, I assume if we had force revealed you on the round we said we were going to, you wouldn't have healed up.
Correct.
That's the bonus.
Correct. So the whole, once it was clear that you guys were going to force reveal me, and I was like, getting to my lower half of health, it's like, well, I need to reveal and just try.
Heal up and try to take us
because
out.
it's the only, it's the only thing that makes sense. Because you can attack other players even without knowing who they are. I don't know. Seems like you're pretty close to winning, so I'm gonna just attack you just in case. Right. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Like with the drafting, there's some table talk.
So did we talk about how the bad guy wins? Because
the bad guy wins by getting four of the properties,
or killing everybody else,
or killing everybody else. Right. Yeah. So if they get it's I said 4 of the properties. In our game, it would have been 4. It's 1 for each player in the game. Sure. So in our game, we played 4
which is really fun. Which is what I enjoyed about this game because I started like that sounded the most fun to me, the set collection of getting the
right.
cities. So I'm just collecting these cities, and I'm gaining these ally cards that are helping my character out with my specific build. And then everybody's like, wait, why are you gaining all these cities? You must be the bad guy. We're going for you because you look you're getting that win
you're
condition.
You're so close to winning.
Yeah,
if you're the bad guy,
you're getting really
you're
close
really
to
close
winning.
to winning, and if you're good, you're nerfing the rest of your team by not letting them get abilities.
Yeah,
so
sure.
it's like, dude,
Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody else was
Getting
for a
allies.
minute was able to get out.
I wouldn't say I was playing it wrong, but I was playing it
not at all.
selfishly.
It's just and it makes the sus like you were saying.
yeah.
But you were also keeping them away from me. You know, so
So
I
you
get it.
were allies.
I knew it.
I wish I would have won. But no, and again, there's not really like player asymmetry, but each player has different levels of health, different times and when they go critical, and they have different hand sizes. So health will determine lowest health is going to go first, which is a good way, right? That's a nice balancing mechanic.
Yeah, automatically balances itself.
Right, because that can change too, right? So if Andrew had lowest health and I had the most health, so it's like I'm going to go last, but then Andrew shoots me.
you.
Now I have the lowest health, the next lowest health. So now I'm going to go next, right? Which would then give me, some options.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that the turn order, can move around a little bit. Like
That last turn, like, had Andrew shot you and not killed you, then you would have gone before me, and that would have messed everything up.
Yeah.
But Andrew was like, well, I'm going to not shoot him to let me go second, and then therefore kill him.
It could have bought me another turn. I think I still would have had a very hard time winning, but it could have bought me another turn.
Well, yeah, with 3 people shooting you.
And you said if you kill somebody, you gain health, right?
Yeah, I gain like 2 health if I kill somebody. So it would have bought me a little bit more time. But Dan was pretty much getting loaded up to like go full bore on me in a minute. So I really was.
So even if you would have gotten rid of him, the next turn you maybe got rid of me, he would have shotgun blast you and won anyway.
Right. I would have. Yeah. But I mean, again, that was our game, right?
Yeah.
That was that particular scenario. But it definitely presents a lot of different things. And now, like looking back, it's like, oh, I could have done this a little bit different. Because then because my problem was I was playing the character with the most health. And so I was always going last, which meant that I couldn't get any of the territories so that I could pair them up and control to either get allies or meet my other win condition. And then I was just kind of like stuck fighting the enemies. Or,
Like, I guess I'll fight this guy who's normally on my side.
well, but I don't get anything while I'm incognito. It only hurts me. Yeah, they hit me, and so it hurts. But I think what I should have done is just picked it up and taken some of the damage so that I could go earlier in the round. Because every round until the very end, I was going last.
Yes,
and that was
not
detrimental.
Helpful.
It was very bad. And now knowing, like going forward, it's like, oh no, like I'm not going to do that. Now you can find ways to do it without looking super shady. But yeah, I learned a lot from that playthrough. Again, right? There's different ammo types. There's different gun types. So you're going to spend ammo.
Each gun has an ability, which is if you spend more ammo.
Right. Like one bullet can usually do one thing, or like two or more bullets can do like other things. It's kind of neat.
Right, and then there's like the rocket launcher and the flamethrower, which are fun.
Yeah.
Especially when they go hilariously wrong and don't do what you need them to do.
What was it, like 1 for 8 or something like that?
1 for 5.
No.
2 for 10.
2 for 10.
2 for 10.
Yeah, I got to roll the die 10 times. I got 2 of the results. Is that a 50-50 die?
No, it's 2 out of 6.
2 out of 6, but still.
So some of just to keep you up to
20%.
speed here, some of your attacks require you to roll one of these this
kick-ass or chew bubblegum die.
Yeah, so Bob, you want to put that on the screen there. 4 of the sides are chew bubblegum, right? But 2 of them are kick-ass. And there's specific colored kick-ass, so like sometimes you have to get a blue kick-ass. If you roll a white kick-ass, then it doesn't kick ass.
It doesn't kick near as much
ass.
ass.
Doesn't kick as much ass.
Yeah.
You kick for the ass, but then miss.
But I don't know.
I just want to give
I've never seen there is a... No, that's a white one, and that's a blue one. Sure. Okay, yeah, so the white one would do 5 on this, and
there's a lot of cards.
The blue one would do 4.
So those are some ammos. Yeah.
And chew bubblegum still does 2. I mean, that's pretty good.
Well, that's a good card to show.
Yeah, show that guy.
So this is an AK-47.
AK there, yep. So it's going to have the different types of, so 1 bullet up here does an action, or you said 3 bullets to do all these different types of things down here.
And the other thing, did you show a melee weapon?
I know. Sorry about that.
The melee weapon, and I'll talk while Bob points. So the melee weapon, again, this weapon has health value. So if I do that ability on the bottom, which will do more damage, it's going to damage that weapon. And that weapon is going to stay damaged until I either break it or I use a toolkit to repair it. or you just
Which is just another item in the game.
yeah, another item you can get, along with med kits and things.
There's a lot
like
of
that.
cards in this deck.
Lots of cards.
A lot of cards in this deck.
But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. The game says it takes like 30 minutes to play. I would agree with that. I think even with a higher player count, it's still going to be pretty fast because between the force reveal, the kind of the tight win condition, right? I mean, you only need one of these properties per player. So I mean, that does go like pretty quick if you're the bad guys and you've got a good, if you're good in the draft, realm there, you can.
Yeah, I like how there's different types of ways to win the game. I
So
like how there's different ways to win.
Yeah, and I would imagine that if you had like multiple Vays, if you had 2 and somebody else had 2 or whatever, then like they would combine your forces, right? Because you said there could be more than one bad guy.
Oh.
Yeah, so all the imposters just need to have the total.
Cumulatively.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to the designers a little bit because of the. First of all, I just think that die is hilarious, and that might be really dumb to some people. But the fact that they have a die in this game, and when you roll it, you're just either gonna kick ass or chew bubble gum. Like that is so funny, dude. Like if you just understand that reference, I just think that's a very funny idea. And it's not just a D2 like they said, right? It's not just a 50-50. You know, it is a higher chance of chew bubble gum, but sometimes you're all out of gum.
And, and also though, right? These are these tokens. These are what you use to put on your character sheet when you take damage. The green might like just be clear. Whoop,
Yeah,
look
it is.
at.
They have these really cool. They have these new really cool player, these see-through player boards that come with this game. Are really cool.
Crazy new technology.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you take damage, and then on the other side, it's just like a cracked kind of symbol. So then you put that on
For
your
the
weapons or
yeah.
on the enemies that you're trying to kill as they pop up into the city.
I also was really impressed with how well it played. It's it's a simple system, but the way that the ammo works in this game, where you are basically stacking them up behind your gun, and then you are literally shooting them. So like when you have 2 shotguns, that's literally 2 shots, And like so, I had a shotgun where it was discard 1 bullet for a damage or 2 damage or something, and then discard 3 bullets for 4 damage, but it was called combat reload, so it's literally the like that's what it's symbolizing.
I like to think of Arnold like flipping the.
That would be the smaller one. I didn't have that
Flipping
one. But I really like how simple it looks to just kind of splay your cards up like that with the ammo. I really like how that played. The amount of table talk in the game is actually a really good amount. I wasn't sure how that was going to play, and for the first half of the game, we kind of just did it wrong. We were just kind of testing out the game and just like taking cards, but then eventually got to a point where it's just like, Bob, what cities do you need? Okay, if I take this, Bob, I might take this pistol ammo. You have 3. That's enough to do your max damage, right? I might take this pistol ammo to, you only have 2? Okay, you can have that so that you can save up your max damage, right? There's a lot of that going on. Meanwhile, one of the people is evil, and they're just like, guys, I'll take this shotgun ammo because I really need it. It's just like, hold on, I'm the shotgun guy. It's like, no, trust me.
Wait. Hold on.
I'm gonna need that.
I kind of like how this comes back to a really simple deduction game. This isn't like some crazy blood on the clock tower where I'm like, there's like 30 different roles and everybody's got 9 different abilities. I like the simplicity of this game.
It's straightforward. It's definitely straightforward.
It does lean towards the, I don't know what the right word is here, like chaotic deduction, like social deduction kind of thing, though, to where, bang the dice game.
Yeah, I was going to say this is much more of like a bang style.
Or I was even going to say kind of the one nights kind of lean this way as well, where it's kind of like there's not really a way to know if it's Tim or not. It's just purely a social thing of like, or just, let's just kill Tim and see what happens.
Right.
Like, it kind of just goes to that, which is why it's more like the
very
bang kind of
popular
thing.
choice.
Not just in this
we were
game.
right. And we were right.
Okay, so how do I kill Tim in Libertalia?
Yeah.
I just want to do that. But so and that's not for everyone. The chaos deduction is not for everyone. I mean, Tim, you don't like One Night because it's too far in that direction.
Yeah, right. No, I agree.
So,
I agree.
So some people are gonna, it depends on where you land on that spectrum of actual, like Bob tends to like solving games. And you tend to not like pure chaos, and so wherever you fall on those on that spectrum of social deduction, this one's going to be on there somewhere, and that's going to say whether you like this one or not. I think I liked it much more than I thought I was going to. I will say that I don't really have a connection to the theme. I know the movie. I've seen clips. I know most of the references. Like I said, I just haven't seen the movie all the way through. But like a lot of other things, I've basically seen all the way through.
I would say everybody but Andrew probably has basically seen this movie. And I say that because Andrew's seen like 5 movies ever.
Yeah, that's
I've
true.
rewatched
Pretty
them
safe bet
just
this was
over
not
and
on
over.
the list.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, if you play Duke Nukem, you're aware of some of the quotes,
Never played
like,
it.
things like that. I mean, this movie, whether you like it or not, or have seen it, it has permeated pop culture, which is why the cult it has the cult status that it has, right? And
I like Colts.
what?
And
My only other things that I was gonna say was I do lean towards it's a little too hard to see the characters on the card thing. It really doesn't matter. It just means play in a bright room. Like if you're playing in a dark room, you're not gonna be able to see anything on those. But I get the idea that like, well, it's harder to see, but like, when is that a problem in games? Like you just look at your card and then you set it off to the side. Like even you don't see it again, let alone someone else.
well, you guys said that's part of the movie, right? Like you put on these glasses
Yes.
and they can
and you can see people's like actual if they're the hidden aliens or
Which
whatever
is why they
are
need
not.
to blow up the cable station because that's where they're broadcasting like this signal that blocks everybody from seeing all the
them.
imposters.
seeing the truth.
And
And then the other thing won't happen, designers. Go ahead and plug your ears. But I do think, because I really like the gun bullet system, as previously stated, I think that having a one-handed, two-handed system in this game would be really cool. Whatever. You
like
guys
have a chain and a pistol.
exactly. A pistol's a one-handed, a chain is a one-handed, so you can
But
do
I
that.
had an M16,
Yeah,
so I shouldn't be able
or the
to.
snipers or two-handed weapons. So I understand though that if you like could carry 2 pistols, there have to be a limit on how much ammo you could spend per turn or something, because otherwise just 5 on both guns is insane.
So
I
you can't
could
attack
see
next
that.
round because you're reloading or
Right,
something.
exactly.
But you can
so
hit them
something
for
like
5.
that, which convolutes a simple game, which is why I totally understand it not being in there. But I see the potential of taking this interesting yet simple gun bullet mechanic and just kind of fleshing it out slightly. So that's my last 2 cents.
My little thing I was going to mention, we know this is like a pre-production copy, but the red and green on there is a little tricky to tell apart. Like from a distance, I had a hard time telling where your health went from one to the other.
You know what would a simple fix would be, other than if you didn't just change the shade of the
Some sort
color,
of icon on there.
is put an icon or change
Like a
Or
little
no,
heart-
change
like a
the
smaller-
EKG.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a
yeah,
smaller-
change the
yeah.
EKG on it so that it would be a little easier.
That would be
Yeah.
very easy to change, and I do agree with that. I would literally make the green ones look like that, the red ones like a half pip, and then the last one a flat line.
Yeah.
Right? And then you
Perfect.
just have like a thematic thing going.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
But I
That's
mean,
good input.
that's solid input. I think that was the only color thing that came close.
Yes. Yep,
Okay.
that's the only thing that really mattered for color anywhere on there that was relevant.
Because we haven't mentioned this yet, solid iconography.
Yeah.
There's not much, but like it's
bullet types,
it's very intuitive
obvious,
to
yeah.
understand how many bullets you have to spend. Like I was not explained this rule when we first
Yeah,
started. I just said,
neither were
okay,
we.
I just need to spend more bullets to do the special
Yeah,
edition.
yeah.
Like because it's just so obvious. It's well done, and the whole skull with the numbers next to it. Okay, that's how much damage I do. The die roll icons are like it's all very intuitive. So well done on that.
Yeah, I was very pleased with how it all shook out. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I had a really good time. I thought it was fun. Even though I got my butt handed to me, I mean, again, though, in the future, right, playing it again and again
Yeah,
with other
learn,
people, and you're going to learn different strategies. Also, playing with different people, you're going to get different styles. Some people might come out more aggressive. Other people might turtle a little bit, you know, like, let's just be nice and start to see, oh, no, it's too late, you know.
Yeah.
But I do like this style of game anyways, you know, like with a hidden, you know, I don't want to say hidden traitor, but it is
Hidden role.
hidden role,
Yeah.
hidden role game. I do like hidden traitor games too, but this is more hidden role. But yeah, and I appreciated the theme quite a bit. I am a child of the '80s, and while this is not my favorite John Carpenter movie, this is one that it's like I could watch like a 15-minute supercut and get everything I need. And 10 minutes of that is the fight between Nada and Frank, and then it's like him walking into the bank. And then, like, all the rando, like,
Spoilers.
they show the imposters. That spoils nothing.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
okay,
that's
okay.
we spoiled the movie.
Way
He's
past-
walking.
Yeah, you're way past
I spoiled
that.
a 40-year-old movie.
Tim, don't say it like that.
There's a 10-minute fight scene between Rowdy Roddy Piper and Keith David.
Yep, I have seen that scene.
Yeah.
I forgot one last thing. I freaking love the box design for this game.
Oh, it looks like a VHS tape.
It looks, not only does the box design look like a VHS tape, if we can like put it on its side under the camera here, right? So you can kind of see, oh yeah, sure, from the front you can see it, yeah. But the insert, if you look at it, looks like a VHS tape. It's designed to, the wells are designed to look like a VHS tape.
Oh, we're working on
Bob's,
some focusing
Bob's working
here.
on the focus. There it is. There it is. Look at that.
Yeah, so that's the side of the box.
Yeah,
Very
so
cool.
for all you children out there, Andrew, that was a VHS tape.
I
video
have
was
rewound
So Bob,
many
open that up. You
things.
don't have to put it under the camera, but we could just like kind of talk about it. The wells inside there are designed to look like they're the two white spot things on the VHS tape, and then the bar going across the top.
Yeah. Look at that.
And that is such a clever little needless design. I love that kind of stuff. Like Blood on the Clock Tower looks like a tome.
Right.
A Biblios looked like a book.
Looks like a book.
This looks like a VHS tape. I love that stuff. I'm such a sucker for that. Not only does it make your shelf, just look really cool when
Really
you get
old.
these things on it. Yeah, books are made of papyrus.
Haven't read one.
Papyrus and
hammered,
leather.
hammered out reeds.
Out reads.
But no, you're right, Dan, though. That's a good point. Even the case and the insert are on theme. So if you enjoy that sort of thing, these little, just little seeds dropped in there, you will appreciate this. And I think fans of the movie are already going to appreciate this. And I think that, in my opinion, this will stand up on its own legs as just a fun hidden role game with an interesting theme. Do you guys have any other final thoughts? Because this is not a production copy, right? This isn't a finished version or whatever. We just were sent this by Iconic Studios to talk about.
Yep.
We're not going to give it a rating, but we're just going to go like a recommend or not recommend,
Also, before we go into that, just really quick, it goes to Kickstarter soon as of the filming, so the link will be in the description if you want to follow the Kickstarter, or if it's live by the time you see this, go check it out on Kickstarter.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Tim from the Board Game Rundown, and I'm just popping on to tell you right now we've got a Patreon that we just started. The pledge level is very low, but there's a limited amount, so when that amount's gone, it's going to go up. Right now, we're not giving away anything extra, but we probably will as soon as we figure out how we're doing that. So if you've got the time, the willingness, and the means to do so, and you want to support the show, please go over to that Patreon and check it out. Thanks very much. Yeah. All right, Bobby, recommend, not recommend? How you feel?
Yeah, I'd recommend checking this game out, especially one, if you love 80s movies,
Yeah.
this will definitely scratch that nostalgia for you. And two, it's a rather, short and simple deduction game where it's not just made out of whole cloth, right? You are trying to deduct some stuff. You're trying to
Deduce.
Yeah, well, or no, I'm trying to subtract you from this entire group. So, for sure my
There were
nomenclature
4
was
players.
correct. Yeah.
Then I deducted one.
And now we have 3 victors. But no, yeah, I definitely recommend checking this out.
Dan.
I kind of said, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I actually want to play again. I thought that was a really cool, the drafting and the gun mechanic, those 2 things alone made a really fun experience for me. And the other stuff, I like social deduction stuff too. So the other stuff is all positives, but I honestly just kind of want to draft and build my weapons up again and like, shoot people and shoot each other more. I want to do that
Well,
more.
it's funny because when we finished playing, I was almost like, ooh, you wanna play again?
right?
Like I really thought about it.
Yeah, so I actually...
This will hit the table again.
I actually strongly recommend checking this one out, if especially, obviously, if you like everything that we have explained. I strongly suggest it. This was fun.
So,
Andrew.
So you said Nada and Frank get in a fight, right?
Yeah.
But in this
'Cause he
game,
wants him to wear the
they're sometimes
sunglasses.
on. I mean, they're basically on a team, kind of.
Oh yeah,
Well,
they fight for him, then they become best friends.
Sure. So I would like to see maybe some sort of like. Okay, 3 people are trying to do one thing. There's one bad guy trying to do one thing. I wish there was something that could make, maybe a secret thing where you get infighting, where maybe I have to do something to gain something to a friend that I enjoy.
You want hidden goals.
Hidden goals a little bit, just to make it a little bit less
Make
chaotic.
sure Frank has less than 9 hit points at the end of the game.
Something like that. Yeah. Something
Well,
like that.
I think.
And
okay, go on.
no,
I'll let you finish.
I'll be really quick. I'm not a fan of social
Nada.
deduction games like this, but I had a good time looting from the pool where we had 8 cards in the front and building up my little. It was like I was building a character.
Right.
That part was fun.
You were kind of engine building and then looking at us and saying, okay, who should I shoot?
Yeah,
you weren't
exactly.
caring about the social as much.
Yeah. I wasn't really worried about the social aspect. If you do not like social deduction games, then I wouldn't recommend this game
Yeah,
to you. But like
100%.
if you, because I do not like social deduction games, so it's like, you're running a risk having me be in the video. But I
No.
enjoyed the looting and building a character aspect. So like, this game is short enough where I would like to play it again. I wouldn't mind it. Whereas like there are some social deduction games where it's like, okay, I'll be the submissive friend who will play it and who will maybe I'll have a good time. This is short enough, so like even though I don't like social deduction games, I would love to play it again just to build a character in a different way.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, no, and I think to your point, right, with the adding that extra layer, while very possible, also though it kind of works to what Dan's point was about the two-handed. It's like, okay, this game is very straightforward.
Yeah.
And now if you add that extra layer, how much more time?
Yeah.
Right.
How much do you get away from the original purpose?
Intent,
I'm not
yeah.
saying it's a bad thing.
Sure.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all,
And
because it could do a little thing where it's like, hey, do you guys want to play with hidden motives
Well,
too?
and that's a really good
Yeah.
kind of allegory for the movie, right? Of like, listen, yes, the movie could have had a good plot, but it kind of like gets away from what the movie's supposed to be, which is really dumb. You watch it to see Rowdy Piper. I don't remember what
Yeah.
his full name.
Yeah.
Something Rowdy Piper.
Yeah.
Like you watch it to see that. You watch it to, you want to be sitting eating popcorn and he goes, kick ass and chew bubblegum and you go, yeah. That's what you're watching it for.
He
And
said
so,
line.
yeah. And so in the game, you get what you want out of the game without the extra bloat. I totally get that.
It's popcorn, right?
Right.
It's like it's a popcorn movie, and this is a popcorn game. This is a beer and pretzels. Have fun, shoot your friends.
So you've got that. They need to spray a little bit of that like popcorn flavored
flavor
spray in there. You
spray in
open
there.
it up. It's
Yeah.
like
Well, you need a bubble gum, I think.
yeah. It
Actually,
should.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
like
you need
Kickstarter
you need,
bubblegum.
Old decrepit Blockbuster.
Ugh.
Yeah,
smell.
Blockbuster
Oh.
sticker with a due date on it.
But I will say, just like everything fit in the box really well. I've traveled with this box. I've had it in my bag, and none of the stuff comes out. Like everything stays in there pretty
Yeah.
good. Like I didn't
Well
have any
done.
problems.
Right, so the final copy will probably be okay.
See, but like even like all these extra tokens, they all stay in there nicely. They did a good job.
Thick boy rule book.
I had a good time with this, and the rule book looks way more intense than what it really is. There's just a lot. It's just a
There's a
lot of
thick paper,
examples.
too.
Yeah, it's really thick paper. Yeah.
and just big font and everything. Anyways, I had a really good time with this. Really glad we had the opportunity to look at it. I think, I think what Andrew said is most important. If you do not like social deduction or hidden role games, this probably isn't going to be for you. But if your buddies do, I would recommend it to them. Because this would be the one you could play with them and
Right.
not hate
Still
yourself
find some
for.
things in there that you can
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not pure social deduction, so
Yeah.
it's not like
yeah. But I had a really good time. So for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
Bob.
And Dan.
I am Andrew.
This has
You've
been
been Tim.
They Live the Card Game. Save the city. Or enslave the city.